Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Caveman to Cosmos with me, Alpha Pi Omega and Byzantium. So, turn 4143, year 610 BC, and we are now sitting very nicely in the classical age. You can see that we are back to positive numbers. We had a number of population growths recently, and the work at Dyrrhachium is getting better. But let's start by looking around. So you will see that our population is now over 300,000. We have 300,750 people living in our territory. I've been really hard at work getting more and more bards to go around, teach people the rituals, increase education, lower crime by buildings, lower disease by buildings, and I'm happy to say that in most cities, as you can see here, we are doing really good. There's a couple, like for example, Thessaloniki, where the crime is still a bit higher, but we are going to lower it eventually. I'm waiting for it to reach to like 125, then I get a new unit. Same with Nicaea, you can see that the crime here is 114, slightly rising, but disease is minus 266, education 907. But the rest I think is doing pretty good. I've spent a lot of time micromanaging the movement of our units and troops and so on, and I'm really happy with how it's going. Laodicea Albicum has an education of minus 685, but it's growing. We're building the school of rhetoric, Stargazer's hut, Nature's altar. We got two of the bards here, which are going to increase the education even further. It's going to take a while before it gets to some nicer levels, but you know, it's a work in progress. The city has been and still has a lot of buildings to do. Educational buildings, there's a bunch of them, so yeah, it's going to get better. It's going to get better as we're going to go. And mathematics, I think, also gives us a huge boost to education. But other than that, most, as you can see, most of the cities are doing good. As far as growth goes, we had a growth in Philippopolis. It's now at population 10. Atalaya is now at population 13. Nissos is gonna be growing soon. Adrianople has grown. Constantinople didn't. Ankara is gonna grow soon. So will Antioch. Amorium has grown. And anyone else? Nope. This is it. But yeah, I'm really happy with the growth. We've greatly expanded the farms around Dyrrhachium. We now have the pumpkin farm here, which gives 13 food. We have a bunch of mines done. So yeah, really, this city is growing greatly. The nationality of the population is not great, but I think it's gonna change as we're gonna go further, because there is, there's been quite a lot of population coming from the people that we, captured after we raised the city here. So this issue needs to be fixed. But other than that, it's good. Oh, I also would like to mention that I am now at peace with Carthage, and I finally accepted my peace offer. And yeah, I think that's about it. That is about it. We're gonna get a huge hit after we get the mathematics. I can end the turn here because the plus 61 we're getting only because of these massive lesser valves everywhere. But now when we are gonna start building in all these cities, it's gonna be a bit dramatic. But I'm hoping that the 11,000 that we have in the bank, actually it's gonna be 11,100 after this turn, will be enough to carry us over the mathematics line, and we can build the beautiful things that our first true classical technology is going to give us.
If in other sciences we should arrive at certainty without doubt and truth without error, it behooves us to place the foundations of knowledge in mathematics.
Okay, so one of the technologies that you actually get in the core game. So mathematics obsolete Frontier Outpost, but they gave us a new building, the Watchtower. I believe that this picture actually is from Age of Empires. It means that our workers will produce 50% extra production from chopping down woods. Okay, that's cool. Allows wooden palisade to upgrade to fort. That's also good. I think that the fort is here. No, that's not the fort. Ah, here it is. Upgrade times 55 turns. Upgrades command bunker. Oh, gives 50% tile defense. That's pretty good. That means you get about 100% from some areas like hills. And a forested hill would be even better. Can be bombarded. Cannot build another within distance of 2. Provides a zone of control. Provides any tradable resource from the plot on which it is built. Oh, that's actually pretty good. That's worth noting. Gives, what was it, 10 culture for owner in plot. Influence plots within a distance of 1. Visibility range. Okay, forts look pretty good. That's an interesting one. We can construct Pantheon. Not sure what that is. I guess that's something. Lumberjack gives extra gold. Geoglyphs gives extra gold. Reviews geoglyph plans. Not sure what that is. And reads geometry, road building, and democracy. Cool. So, and as far as the buildings go, we have the Mathematics Academy here, which is amazing. Extra 6 education, extra 3 science, but you pay for maintenance, unfortunately. But with geometry, it gets 3 extra, algebra gives us 4 extra, and calculus 5. Requires books or paper or scrolls or tab, and opposites with computer networks. Okay, so this one will stay with us quite for a long time. We already spoke about the watchtowers. There's also the Grand Villa here. Requires magistrates or bourgeoisie. Gives 8 gold and 4 culture and 7% foreign trade route yield. That's pretty good. And all of these Zoroastrian Pantheon. Is that the Pantheon? I think it might be. But it's not for us. And then you get a bunch of extra world wonders. Okay, so what do we go with next? That is an important question. I'm actually kind of sure that we're going to go with Alphabet next. That one gives us open borders, closed borders. We can build research, enables sneak. You don't give us buildings enabled. Crime and culture Cherokee. Okay, so as far as buildings go, that's going to be a bit of a bust. But it is going to get us research, which is good. Right now we have what is it, Mega Research or something like that, and this one is going to upgrade it. So let's go with Alphabet. And actually, I think that once we get Alphabet, we should look into this in a bit more detail and decide on a plan of action. Like road building is really good, for example. I'm pretty sure about that. Gives extra gold, extra yield, extra trade routes. Wow, it's actually pretty good. Ancient machinery, horse breeding, literature, code of laws. That one is, I think, another one that we really want. And it gives you assassins. That's great. And then we get through city planning, forbidden powers, and stuff like that. So I'll need to go through all of these technologies with you guys in the next update and decide on, we should have a plan here. I mean, there's not that many technologies here as there were in the ancient times or in the sedentary lifestyle. The classical lifestyle is going to be, but it's a bit more heavy and it's going to take a bit longer till we get them. I guess that's the thing that I'm trying to say here. Paved roads. Okay, so that's another like a huge building that's going to influence us greater because these gives trade routes and trade route yield. So something like ports. In the beginning, stirrup Hellenism, calendar that gives community garden extra income. Where's actually the buildings that boost the academy? There was geometry, algebra, and calculus. Geometry shouldn't really be. Yeah, it's right here. So actually we could straight up take the alphabet and then go with geometry. I think we're gonna do that, because that one gives you additional 50% from chopping, but just 3 extra signs in every city is worth it in its own. But 83,000. How much did mathematics? Okay, it's not such a big difference. Here's geometry, and then the next one was calculus. And what was the other one? Algebra and calculus. So algebra could also be here somewhere. Here's geometry. I don't see algebra. Here's concrete. Siege warfare. Static. No. So I guess algebra is going to be a medieval thing? It's a bit weird. I was pretty sure that algebra was invented in ancient times. Well, we can actually check, can't we? So, algebra. 411,000, yeah, it's a medieval technology. Okay, never mind. Well, so what this means is actually we can go ahead and schedule the construction for all of our cities, like Constantinople, where we now get the Mathematics Academy. Instead of 3, we're going to get 4.62, but we're going to pay quite a lot of money for this. 3 gold for building maintenance is quite high, but the 6 education, Jesus, that means we can pretty much obsolete 1 bard in every city, because they give how much? 2, plus they have education 1 and 2. Yeah, so it supplements or replaces 1 bard. Though they're a bit more expensive than the bard, but giving us the science as well is really good. And watchtower. What's actually the difference between watchtower? We do have the frontier. Was it the frontier outpost? Those are conceptual here. Frontier outpost? Oh, fortified outpost. Okay, so you are cheaper and give extra, lowers crime. Okay, really nice, lowers crime. Increases line of sight. And you give a bonus to defense plus 10%. You give plus 15. Okay. And adjacent enemies will receive damage. Okay, that's also pretty good. Yeah, so these are very useful buildings. What about the wonders? Can we build? We could build a Great Wall of China. Prevents barbarians from entering borders on continent. +1 from engineers in all cities. Well, we have none though. Double culture and just 22 turns. Might actually go for that. Terracotta army we already know we don't want. Okay, so the Great Wall of China seems like the... Oh, no, here's another one. Nazca lines. Provides 1 geoglyph plans. Gives education. Random benefits with era advances. What the hell is the geoglyph plan? A geoglyph is a large design or motif, generally longer than 4 meters, produced on the ground and typically formed by classic rock or similar durable elements of the landscape, such as stone fragments, live trees, gravel, or earth. A positive geoglyph is formed by the arrangement and alignment of materials on the ground in a manner akin to petroforms, while a negative geoglyph is formed by removing patinated class to expose unpatinated ground in a manner akin to petroglyphs. Okay, but what does reveal enable mathematics? I just wonder what this is good for. These geoglyph plans, okay. Well, we might get that one. And the Great Wall of China, those seems like good wonders. Alphabet will take 26 turns, so that's gonna take a bit to get to. But at that moment we might already have most of these done, right? Yeah, 7 turns and 4 turns. Yeah, most of our cities will already be back to lesser buff, so we'll see if we'll have to take a hit to production or not. And nice, you guys expanded your border. It's pretty good. Very good. And what are you telling me that we can build here? That's a bit weird. Come on. Nothing, it's just... You would suggest a farm or something? Or a city, I don't know what you want there. Oh, never mind. Anyway, see you in 26 turns in the second update when we get the alphabet. Turn 4169, here 577 BC, and we are 1 turn away from alphabet. But quite a lot of things have changed. You can see that we are again at a positive numbers. We managed to actually bounce from about 1500 gold all the way up to where we are now, especially because we captured quite a lot of Egyptian workers, which I sell for money when they arrive in my territory. So that actually gave us quite a nice boost here. As far as our cities go, I can now say honestly that most of them are doing great, with the exception of Laodicea Aldicum, which still has a fairly poor education. But we're working on that, you know, there are some bards, we did some stuff, and there's a bunch of things that we can do to improve its education, like quite a lot of stuff. Though I consider, because it's going to be growing soon, kind of more important to build some of these general buildings first, and then we are going to deal with the education. As was mentioned in the previous update as well, I am building both of those world wonders, though I... Oh, okay, so Trebizond is building the Great Wall of China, and the petroglyph is somewhere in... somewhere in the queue. Oh, no, Nazca lines, not petroglyphs. Petroglyphs is... Oh, geoglyph, not petroglyphs, geoglyphs. It's being done by Dorelaum. So, yeah, you're building us the Nazca lines. And the barbarian city has spawned here, which is, the general gist. What's also important is that Mongolia declared war on us for some reason. I have no idea how and why, what their plan is. They haven't attacked us a single time. But they're mad, so we can just let them rage. We've also had a bunch of cities grow, most notably and recently Mizitras is now at population 7. Dyrrhachium is still at population 5, but that's fine, we're building the ancient customs. It's slowly growing. Production is already at 81, which is great. We've finished most of the basic things here. Bar Gatherer, Grove, Tar Pit, those we're gonna do next. Mine, nice things here, but all of these are just the basic ones. So I think we might focus on gold buildings now, like the beadworker and the crafts hut, and there's also the candy shop, and there's gonna be later on a market and stuff like that. Or we might focus on things that boost our food, though I think I've already built some of them, like the fishmonger. Well, that one wouldn't be eligible here because we're nowhere near sea. But you can see the drying frame is giving us... No, actually no food buildings. With the exception of animal snare traps, bonfire, which we got automatic, and drying frame. And these ones we got because of the production. So interesting. But the growth of the cities actually gave us quite a boost in population. We are now sitting at 311,000, which is great. We're slowly working ourselves to 500,000. Constantinople, unfortunately, is still 155 turns away from the next growth. Thessaloniki are 95 turns away from growth to population 21. But as you can see, its population growth is 47, and here we get 78. So Constantinople is growing faster. It's just that, there's such a steep difference between the population levels. Okay, anything else that I would like to say? Yes, technology. I actually shadowed a number of technologies here. I went through them, pretty much everything on the list is really important for us. Everything is going to boost us dramatically, but I thought that this order would be the best. So first of all, we're going to go with currency because orchard, silks, farms, winery are going to give us extra gold. Thieves Hideout is also giving extra gold, but we can build wealth, which is going to be really important. For example, if we want to get more gold and, for example, get more research, because right now we're going with lesser wealth, which gives us 40%. So if we get wealth, I believe that we will be able to put some of our cities on lesser research afterwards and keep a balanced budget. So that's great. Next, after currency, we are going to go with number 3, which is ironworking. That one gives us a boost to mines. Early mountain mines gets also a bonus. Stone tool maker starts producing only culture because the stone tools gets obsolete, and we get a bunch of new mines and buildings that can help with production. So that is really good. After ironworking, we're gonna go for aristocracy because that gives us bourgeoisie, and tapestry makers workshop gets extra income. We got this one almost everywhere, so that is great. And we'll get the noble. I don't know what the noble is worth for, but we're gonna investigate later on. And bourgeoisie is wait, that's French culture. Where's the bourgeoisie? Needs to, oh, you can see it here. So that's a society upgrade, which gives us quite a lot of boost to production of gold and culture and industry production. After aristocracy, we're gonna go to our first next tier technology, which is gonna be geometry, definitely because of the Mathematics Academy, which is really good. After geometry, we're gonna go with code of laws, because that allows us to get magistrates, and that I believe might give us some decent things here. There are some really interesting buildings here that I don't know which ones we'll have access to. Unfortunately, also crime, but we managed to keep crime fairly low, so these ones shouldn't be an issue. And it's going to give us the assassins, which we are going to use against our opponents. After Code of Laws, we're going to go with literature, because while this obsoletes the storyteller, it allows us to build a culture, same as wealth, and we get a bunch of buildings here, like the library, which gives a huge bonus to science and education. We can get academy, actually. Okay, can be built by great scientists. Okay, so this one would be great in Constantinople. There is some other unique buildings and interesting world wonders, like Hotraya Library and the Great Library gives us free scientists and stuff like that. But who knows what we're gonna have access to by then. After this, we're gonna go with military training, just because we will need to upgrade our units. Plus, this gives us barracks, it gives us a triumph column, parade grounds, draft office, a bit of crime, but still an important thing. Plus, it gives you a bunch of traits for your units. After military training, we are going to go with mail. Mail gives you the Sailmaker, which lowers crime. I figured that by the time we will have a need for additional crime reduction, plus you get a bit of science and culture from that. After mail, we're going to go with shipbuilding. Now, this is the one where I'm not entirely sure if it's a good thing to go for that, but we're going to get better ships, which are going to be better. We might try to sail a bit further with these. We get a bunch of national buildings and national wonders and stuff like that. We'll see. Targatherer and Grand Marine Festival gets slight bonuses, so we'll see. But still, I would like to get it off the table. Now, after that one, we're going to go with road building. This is, of course, because of the roads, which is amazing. There are some additional bonuses, but I think that the road is going to be the things that we really need the most. After road building, we're going to go with ancient machinery, because the ancient machinery makes our work course, work faster, but it gives us access to stuff like Lithobolos, which is an upgraded siege equipment, Oxybelas, the same thing, and some other additional things. But ancient machinery, I think, will give us, things that we might be able to use in future wars. After ancient machinery, we are going to go with construction, which will give us a few more buildings. It gives a brick bridge, which is a good thing. We have bridges here and there. Odeon is also probably really good, and some more wonders. After construction, we're going to go with city planning, which is going to give us a bunch of new things like the naval shipping warehouse and officium, which gives extra income, lowers crime. There's the port, which is an upgrade to our port cities, and unfortunately a bit more of a crime there. And the last one that I actually shadowed here is the diplomacy, because that one gives us ambassador house, which is an upgrade to the negotiator's hut, and emporium, which increases overall income, and it gives you the temple of Artemis. So quite a lot of technologies have been shadowed. We're gonna have to see if we won't change that plan, but I'm fairly happy with this and the way it's set. So we're just gonna see. I mean, our civilization is doing really good. We are at the top of the pecking order. No one really can hurt us. So more importantly, once we're done with the alphabet, I think I might just investigate how much income we are able to get with the wealth. And once we get the wealth or access to the wealth, I might start getting some plans for an additional city, because we need to grow. That's why we're here. The civilization needs to grow.
Words have the power to both destroy and heal. When words are both true and kind, they can change our world.
Okay, so alphabet gives us access to open borders and closed borders. We can build research, enables sneak, and leads to cryptography, literature, and code of laws. As far as buildings enabled, we get just access to crime, illegal immigration. That's great. We get sneak improvement, open borders, and closed borders, which is really good. Is it actually a Civic? I think it is a Civic. So let's look at that. And the next one is going to be currency. So let's see the big picture. Actually, the Society of the Bourgeoisie, where is that? I want to investigate that one as well. Oh, here it is. We have the caste system. So this one is going to greatly increase the income in all cities and capital. What's the maintenance? 15%. Okay, so it's going to greatly lower the maintenance from number of cities. So this is a step that's going to give us like 70 gold. Nice. Unhappiness in all cities though. But that doesn't really matter. And we get quite a lot of additional bonuses, so that's pretty good. Okay, and where's the open and closed borders? Here, immigration. So we're borderless, which increases crime and unhealthiness in a city. Now, open borders further increase crime and further increase unhealthiness or disease, but it gives us 2 additional trade routes and extra income from trade routes. Closed borders would actually lower crime and disease, but it would mean that our cities need more food to grow. Nope, we're gonna go with open borders. It requires no revolution. Why are you saying that we need upkeep for this? I don't think that's correct. Okay, not sure what happened there and why we lost that much money immediately. That's a bit weird. Well, and yeah, research. So wealth. Ah, nice. Okay, so it's 40, and the basic one gives you 50%. So that means we would gain, yeah, more gold from that. Cool. So what can Atalaya get? You got good crime, good disease, good education. Anything here that's interesting for you? Nope. Okay, let's get the ghee maker. That one is always a good choice. Then we can make the toy carver, arena. Then get the fish oil maker. The flammability here is a pretty good one. And no world wonder. Okay. And that just means that actually we have nothing to build in our major cities, do we? Yeah, nothing new. So if we switch to you, for example, to research, that would lower the income slightly. Okay, wouldn't do much of a change. But yeah, I think Constantinople can work on research now, because we want to save the turns. And anyone willing to trade something with me? Nope, you got military training and ironworking. We got way more technologies than you do. What about Mali? Nope. No. Persia. Rite of passage. Nope. Tupi. Nope. And nothing like that. So let's check if the Mongols will... Nope, they will not sign peace treaty with me. Okay, so we can actually just... That's actually what I'm doing here. I'm just herding Egypt and training our units. You can see that some of them are doing pretty good, but we lost one. Yeah, the Wrath of the Darkness is the new unit. So they are doing pretty good here, just, you know, chilling and looking around, seeing what's there to be seen. We've actually upgraded all of the tiles around Trebizond, so our workers are now moving to the other part of the border where we have Mizitras and Dorival. There are some tiles here that could use an upgrade. And actually thinking about it, the next city would be possible to build it around here to gain access to this tea and tin. I need to think about it though. I kept saying that we would like a city here. There are rubies here and some additional stuff. Or we could just go ahead and build our first sort of a colonial city. Well, actually, we could build one more here, which would give access to... It would be like a port city here. And then we could raise the Mauryan and start working along the coast as the colonies. And the border here doesn't give much. Though we could work our way down, raise Shtublovi and gain access to this. It's gonna be a hoot to decide what's gonna be next. Cool. Anyway, see you in the next update in 19 turns when we get currency. Turn 4188, year 552 BC, and we are one turn away from currency. So what happened in the past 20 turns? Well, not much. But it's been really cool and calm playthrough of these 20 turns. We keep growing. Antioch, Nicaea has grown, and I think a couple of other cities, maybe Mizitras, but I'm not sure if that didn't happen in the previous update, but definitely Antioch and Nicaea has grown. Constantinople is about 136 turns away from the next population threshold. We've done further improvements on our crime situation and disease situation and education, so things are going really well. I microed many of the cities. Laodicea is going to be at population 17 in 5 turns, that's also pretty good. Also finishing the Salt Quarry, which is a really good building. And yeah, other than that, things have been really just calm. We now have 2 cities also on research, which is good. That's helping us a bit with the accumulation of research points. But I'm not sure what else to say, really. This was, I don't want to say uneventful, but just a calm couple of years where we just improved. I started the preparations for the next city. I actually think that we're going to build it here. There is a good spot here, either here or here. But I think it might be better to build it here and try to push that border slightly back. There's a ton of buildings, working in the distance that we could grab. And, getting the tea and tin, getting these deers, generally speaking, and there's also rice here and more deer. So, yeah, I'm thinking this is going to be a good spot for the next city. I looked around and, I think this one is going to give us the most benefit. But it's not going to happen until we know that we are doing really good and we can keep us in the positive. Right now I'm gonna focus on turning many of these vessel valves into research because we want to have research as as boosted as possible, because right now we're in really big deficit. If you check how many vessel valves we have, this really can decimate our budget when we have new things to build. So we're not really ready for the next day, but we will be, when the time comes. We will be when the time comes. So let's end the turn now. Hear it for currency. I think that might be another technology coming straight up from the vanilla game. I kind of like the quotes, even from the original game. They had a lot of character, and the voicing was superb. Not that Caveman to Cosmos wouldn't have superb voicing, but yeah, it's a professional production. And who declared war on us? Was that not on us? No, it was on us. Now you shall pay for your many insults to the Hittite Empire. Hittite? Really? So you have 184 power, and we have 1263. Are you sure you know what you're doing? We're polluting the ocean. First impression is a lasting one, and you declared war on our friends. I don't think you know what you're doing.
Everything is worth what its purchaser will pay for it.
Okay, so this enables gold trading via diplomacy, which is amazing. Thieves' Hideout gets more gold. Thinking it might be worth to get it. Now, Vinery, Orchard, Silk Farm, fine. You can build wealth. Leads to democracy insurance. Okay, the wealth is going to be good because you know that we have the lesser wealths, and now we'll have the full wealths. So instead of 40%, we're going to get 50. Now, as far as units enabled, these are the unique road units. I don't think we'll have access to any of these. And buildings. The auction house increases gold and crime by 5. Bravo. Replaces harems. I don't know, that increases disease. I'm trying to stay away from these. River Authority increases trade route yield and river tiles by +2. Oh, this is gonna be a really good one, but increases crime and pollution, and crime, blackmail, and pickpocketing. Yeah, we're gonna have more crimes than ever. Mercenaries acquires currency. Oh, that's a Civic. Interesting. And coinage. Is that a Civic? Yeah, that's a Civic as well. Okay, I completely missed those two. So let's see the big picture. So we have tribal warfare, and we could switch to mercenaries. So we pay distance to palace, number of cities, and maintenance. But we get 50% free upkeep. Here we will get the free upkeep, and we would remove... Wow, we would pay only maintenance cost from distance to palace and cost for cities, but we would remove that 142 gold maintenance from number of cities. Wow, that would be... Oh, actually I can see them both here. I don't need to go up and down. And we'll get extra money in capital and not a penalty in all cities. But we would lose a bit of A bit of extra bonuses in the capital. Archers maybe throwing are trained faster, it wouldn't be here anymore. 10% upkeep cost. I'm not sure, that upkeep cost might be a bit more than what we have, because would it be worth the 100 gold? Extra free maintenance cost for overseas city. House, construction of Civic mercenaries. And where is that? I don't know, I am not entirely sure this is worth it, because we get a free military upkeep of 7, which is fine, and the mercenaries are actually increasing our upkeep by 10%, it says here. Okay, so we'll have to investigate that. And coinage. So we were using metals, and now we can go with coinage. So metals gave us 10% maintenance from a number of the cities. That's actually lowered. We get extra for home, but yeah, capital gets boosted in all cities. Yeah, this one we're going with. But let us first investigate. Okay, you can look at an auction house, go Vicue, and you have the crime under control. Okay, we can do the disease increasing building as well, and wealth gives us more. You can do the auction house as well, and disease is also another problem. You can do the auction house, and disease is not a problem. You can do the auction house, and disease is not a problem. You can do the auction house, and disease is not a problem. You can do the auction house, and disease is still not a problem. You get a bunch of other things to do here. You're doing research, but you're gonna do this one and brothels, because disease is not a problem. Okay, you can see the actual big hit to our economy. We'll have to slow down the research at this point. You can do the... but you can get the brothels. Charcoal burner. Let's build a nature circle of power afterwards. Mescalines. Is that all? No, you and you. And that's it. Okay, so we can see that we would lose about 745 gold, so that is in 5 turns more, well, nearly 4,000. So we need to lower this slightly. Let's go like this, so we can go for 10 turns by... Actually, let's go slightly lower. Let's go this. That's gonna be 15 turns, 20 for ironworking. I think by that time we're gonna have some of the buildings finished, and we can go back, but this time to wealth, which is gonna mean that we can turn more of these for research. And I wanted to check if we can see our expenses here somewhere. Statistics, because I would like to see what the 10% in maintenance would do. That has to be somewhere here. Civics, domestic advisor, Where can I find the expenses? Civics advisor. Nope. Foreign advisor, military advisor. Actually, wouldn't it be here? Yeah, financial advisor. Expenses. Unit upkeep 724, so this one would increase by 72. So we would upgrade that by, increase it by 72. So I guess we need to see what the difference, the benefit is, because this then looks pretty much the same. We would get a benefit of roughly 100, but cut it down by 70. We get more experience. more money in the capital doesn't lower the income in all cities, so we get extra income. And faster. I guess we're gonna try it. We can always go back, and we're gonna go with coinage, because that one is downright the best one. So okay, it actually boosted our income significantly. So now I can go to something like 90 here, and we should be fine. That disables warriors huts, but other than that, yeah, money. I'm happy. Cool. So that's all for this episode. As usual, I'll see you in 18 turns when we have the iron working, but it's not going to be now. It's going to be in the next episode. And considering that at max now we're losing 462 gold, that's actually not bad. That might be enough for us to think about that new city. Okay, well, I want to build a farm over there, so that's what I'm gonna do. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you in the next episode.